Yo, welcome, yo.
What up, YouTube? What up, home arcade enthusiasts, retro game collectors, 3/4 scale arcade lovers? Welcome to Yo Retro. My name is Chaotic BPR. With me, I got my co-host, as always, half a dozen. Welcome to the show, my brother.
What up, what up, what up, what up, YouTube? What up, though, Yo Retro? What's going on?
How's it going, brother? How you doing?
It's going good, bro. It's going excellent.
Everybody, welcome to the 10th episode of Yo Retro, man. I cannot believe we're already there.
I know, right? That's kind of a shock to me, too, because, man, it's like the thought happened overnight about having a show, and then the concepts and meeting in Cleveland, it all kind of happened so fast, bro. And now we're 10 shows in. It's wild.
I know, right? And it's good how we met and everything, and then just how everything just come together and everything. I'm sorry, I'm saying everything a lot. It's a lot of everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything's everything. So, man, it's good to have a great show with you, man, and we're starting to build a good following. We got some of the best chat around the home arcade community. How everybody participates, has things to say to us, adds to the conversation. Like, we could honestly, if we went from start to finish on a show, we could knock one out probably in about 30 minutes. But it's the chat that adds like an extra hour to it, man, because they got so much they want to add to it, so much that we can discuss together with them and everything. So it just works out perfectly.
Yeah, it's a real community-based show now, and that was something we really didn't have in the equation at first. Like, we were just kind of like brainstorming on all the stuff we could do on the show, and now it's really just part of the show, going off the rails, like we say.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not the stars of the show at all. It's chat straight up. Y'all are the stars of the show.
Yeah, they're wild. They be putting some crazy comments in there, keep me cracking up when I go back, I watch a replay sometimes. I'll be like, man, I missed that.
Especially
Yeah,
Uncle, man.
but
I love that you got your uncle in here.
yeah, Uncle always slide through, and show some love. But yeah, on our 10th show, man, we really wanted to break it down. We wanted to give y'all our personal top 10 Arcade1up home arcade cabinets. We also wanted to give y'all a little bit of update on the ATGAMES Legends shipping. They didn't put out much news for us, but they did give us a little bit of news that right now they're actually shipping from a new retailer in the US, and they're also shipping overseas, we found out, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you want to put them on with that info, but yeah, we definitely got our top 10 personal Arcade1up cabinets. These might not be your personal top 10. These might not, be the best top 10, but these are the ones that really spoke to me and Chaotic the most.
Yeah. Because honestly, when you showed me your list of your stuff and all the graphics and everything, I was like, yeah, I like that one. I really wish. And then some of them that I don't have, I wish I did have.
Same.
We'll
Same,
get
man.
into that, but I totally agree with this list as being like the top 10, man. Because there's some that I don't have any kind of like nostalgia for, but they are considered by others being the best of the best looking, the most accurate recreation. And that is also very important to me. To my nostalgia is the accurate recreation, even though it may not be something that I've ever played or something that I really enjoyed. But
yeah, that,
go ahead.
and we could debate with the chat too on why some of these cabs we chose them, so it'll make for an interesting chat.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of chat, let's see who's all up in our building right now. We got Jason, our little alien moderator right now. Good to see you,
What up,
Jason.
bro?
Always, man. I love to see you on every show. Jim B,
Jim B,
Toxin.
my dog. What up, man?
Good to see Vader, man. Dave, hadn't seen you since the Blitz tournament, man. It's good to see you, buddy.
He was in our last show, I think, or he came by for the replay, actually.
Yeah, the replay for sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's always good to see you, Vader, man. Good to see you. Stock Jock, my good man down in Florida.
What up, Stock Jock?
Yes, the Carpet Master. Yeah. So Vader, that we'll get back into that a little bit too. Like you only have 6, so you can't give a top 10, and it doesn't really necessarily have to be the ones you own. It could be the ones that you really want as well. And then y'all also give me a little bit of a break. I am trying out a new like wireless mic, so I just want to see how it played out. Got it on Amazon for like $12. So if I sound pretty good, then I'll probably just continue using it instead of that big bulky mic I got at the end of this desk. I got so much more room and nothing in my way. But
I
continue
like
on.
I
Go
like the
ahead.
little rainbow mic, man. You know they say my mic look like I'm reading the future.
That's your fortune teller, Mike, right?
Hmm.
We got Carlo in the chat. Always, man. That's the ATGAMES master right there.
That's my dog. What's up, Carl?
And that guy, Mike Worley, man. Good to see you as well.
Yo, the bad guy, the NFL Blitz champ, and you
The
know,
NFL
man,
Blitz chat.
you don't even know, bro. Somebody was coming for your head, bro. Pause. somebody really wants that title from you, man. They were blowing up my inbox on Facebook, like, yo, who is this bad guy, Mike Worley? This dude that I told Chaotic a little bit about it after we had our Blitz tournament. This dude was inboxing me like crazy, like, man, I really wanted to get in that tournament. He has 3 separate Blitz cabinets, Mike Worley. Hear me out. And he modded every one, like 2 of them to 2-player cabs. And each one's got like a separate Blitz marquee, the 99, the 2000, like everyone's got it is modeled to look like that particular Blitz cab. He's got 3 Blitz cabs. I played the dude, bro. I couldn't get no wins on him, bro. He kicked my
Yeah,
ass bad. And
he
he
was
was
giving me
like, I
like
want Mike Worley next. I was like, oh my God.
he was intercepting you, he was sacking you, he was
Bro,
blocking
there was nothing.
all your passes, man. You couldn't get anything.
I thought the L I took to Corner K was bad, bro. When I played this dude, he was like a professional Blitz player. I was like, bro, we're playing for fun, bro. He took it way too serious. He was blitzing the line, bro. He had all his, bro. I've never played somebody that good at Blitz.
Half a dozen. I got an idea. What if we set it up so that these two play against each other? If Mike can beat him, let's like give a big prize out to somebody in chat or something like that. Like
Yeah, we might
we can live stream it.
we might have to like figure something out, get a Yo Retro shirt made up or something. We can mail to one of these dudes or something as a prize.
Yeah, yeah. Or the winner, if Mike was to beat him or something like that, we could do like a Yo Retro Blitz tournament champion or Blitz
Yeah,
God or something like that.
yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, I couldn't do nothing to this dude when I played against him. Pause. Do nothing.
It's kind of like what is
Nothing.
it? Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, man. We could stream this. We can do something good with this.
Yeah, we got something going.
We'll
So
figure it
what's
out.
up with this at game stuff, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. So ATGAMES right now is currently shipping to the UK and Canada. Right now, you got
Mm.
the brick now shipping. So I'm pretty sure Michael B, the Game Genie, is going to be super excited about getting this very soon.
Yeah, did he already order one? I don't know.
I'm sure he did.
Or
I'm sure.
is this what he was waiting on right here?
I know he really wanted Attack from Mars, but he's the type of guy that's like, he can't wait. He's going to get this. I just see that.
Well, he could probably. Oh yeah, I guess you can't pre-order Tech from Mars.
Yeah.
Well, they're shipping Adams Family. If he wants that, he could probably get that.
Yeah, and I think he will, man. So I think his wallet's going to burn a hole in his pocket. He's going to end up buying this. So that's with Canada, as well as the UK. Liberty Games, Game Room Specialists, they are now offering this for all our UK fans out there, man. So good. This thing's pretty much almost worldwide, man.
Yeah, that's good to see. Like people were saying, they want to see him start getting these things out to some retailers. So now you're seeing that, you know.
Yeah.
Knew it would happen. You just had to give them a little time, you know. Plus, especially overseas, you kind of need the help of retailers.
Yeah, for real. And I'm glad there's a retailer out there that's saying that this premium pinball, virtual pinball product is worth picking up and putting into our stores so that more of these people can get their hands on it. So this is great news. Good news for ATGAMES. And great news
Yep.
for everybody over on the other side of the pond. So good.
Yeah, congratulations. Y'all could start playing pinball probably about the same time when we get ours.
Yeah.
Attack from Mars.
So back to this this conversation, the meat and potatoes of this conversation. It's going to be our top tens. Our top tens Arcade1up's best looking, most accurate, whatever you want to put kind of spin on it. It's really kind of like mine and half a dozen's like just best top 10 cabinets that we either own, have owned, or ones that we wouldn't mind picking up if we can get a good deal on it.
Yeah, it's like our personal what would you call that, corrugated list, you know, like we went through them, and these are cabs we don't own. Some of them we don't own, by the way.
No,
You know,
no, not at all.
some of them we don't own, but we still looked at them and was able to say, no, that's one of the best cabinets they ever made, flat out. You know,
Like, I want to look at Jim B's real quick. Jim B says his top six, basically, because he said earlier. Number one would be Tron. Number two, Star Wars. Number three, Frogger. Nice. Four, Pac-Man. And number five, Class of 81. Six, it says G. I imagine it's probably Galaga.
Galaga. It's only G1 I can unless it's Golden Axe.
Yeah. So I don't see it anywhere else on here.
It's not a bad top five. I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't put Frogger on that list.
Oh, Unk's here.
No, he's not. Read the comment. He's
Oh, and speaking of bad guy Mike Worley, hey, I watched that NBA Jam comparison video too. Great video, man. Top notch. It's
yeah.
hard to believe how big that Shaq Edition XL is. Like after the control panel up, everything else is exactly the same measurements. Down from the floor all the way up to the control panel, but above that, holy crap, huge difference.
Yeah, it was I'm glad that he pointed that out, you know, because you're not, I mean, the main upgrade you're getting is the bigger screen, the bigger marquee. You know, everything else is pretty much the same. Lack of a riser, same PCB, you know. I would say less authentic artwork, but that marquee is, a lot of people tend to like that marquee, you know, that big in your face. Well, it's not even in your face, it's above your face marquee. You know?
Yeah, depending on how tall you are, right?
But it's, you know, it's obnoxious enough. It's attention grabbing, you know. So it's cool.
Yeah. Kind of like the T2, man, when it comes to that size, that towering cabinet compared to everything else in your arcade room.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is just pops right there in your face.
He has some ladies over playing the 4KP.
Oh, did he say that? I had a few ladies. Oh.
Okay, player.
Jim B's number 6 is Golden Tee.
There you go. See, I said Golden Axe. I was close.
Oh. And the reason why he's got Frogger up there is because of Time Pilot. Not a bad choice, man. That's actually that's a game changer. I kind of understand that.
I think I got Time Pilot on my 60-1. Do I? I think I do.
Probably do, most likely. But why are we here, man? We're here for our top 10. No further ado.
Yeah, let's get into it.
It's kind of not exactly like in a from number 10 to number 1 per se. We're going to pop up a cabinet up here, basically going to rate it ourselves and exactly where it fits in our top 10. And there is one honorable mention on my case.
we'll talk about, the pros and cons of the cabinet, and obviously more of the pros because that's why it's on the top 10. So yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp. What up,
Well,
smoke break?
good to see you, Smoke Break. Loved you on
Hey,
the Friday night arcade show with Brooklyn Menace and everything, man. It's good to see you on there.
you just reminded me, sir. It's that time.
uh, Carlos, on occasions like that, it's when you need just one more pinball machine.
Mm. Yeah.
All right, man. So first up, our Blitz
Yeah,
tournament causes for Blitz to be in the top 10.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, this cabinet got a lot of bad press based off the changes they made to it, right?
All right.
So when this came out, the main talk was the lack of late hits, the fact that they edited the game and took out the late hits out of this game and forever altered what we knew as NFL Blitz growing up, right?
Right.
So I think the bad press hurt this cab in a lot of ways, but I think despite the fact that the late hits have been removed from all three versions of NFL Blitz on this cabinet, I think that it's still an excellent cabinet. I think there's still a lot of fun to be had on this cab.
Yeah. From one big, huge, great thing that they added was 49-way joysticks. I don't know if this would necessarily work without them. Yes, you could have an 8-way joystick because the PlayStation version and the Nintendo 64 version, Dreamcast version, yes, those run on an 8-way, you know, control scheme just fine. But the arcade feel with that 49 smooth rotation, the different directions that your player can go, you can do like a sweeping motion and everything. You kind of needed that for that arcade accuracy, at least on that part. The cabinet to me is beautiful. I agree with a lot of people that saying that the marquee is washed out. Number one, uh, hit up Joe Savos to get that fixed. Um, and then the side art is supposed to look like NFL film, so it's kind of grainy, like a VHS tape kind of deal. Um, I can see a lot of people's complaints. Why didn't they just use the old school game art on the side? But I get it. If they're going to do some kind of cross promotion with the NFL, and the NFL is going to have its directions on, hey, we don't want we don't want those violent hits in the game and that kind of stuff. And if you're going to change it, if you're going to change all that, you're going to change the code to the arcade ROM. Then it's not going to be the arcade ROM. Change the side art to make it really, to us arcade like enthusiasts. Yeah, this isn't the actual arcade ROM, so it can't have like authentic arcade art. That's the way I kind of look at it.
Yeah, I mean, you made a lot of really good points. The upgraded joysticks on this cab in particular, this is the only cab that has those optical joysticks. I think, those are undervalued. When a
Hmm.
lot of people review this cabinet or they talk about this cabinet, they're always mentioning the late hits being removed, but they're not talking about how excellent the joysticks are, all four of them on this cab.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, they're some of the best that I've ever experienced on an Arcade1up cabinet. And
Okay.
then, the side art, you do make a good point. It doesn't have that authentic side art that we're used to seeing. That's kind of on the background behind the cabinet there.
Hmm.
But there's something to be said about that too, because that art's a bit dated. It kind of reminds me of the Turtles in Time side art, where it's like it was of its time, but it doesn't really translate as well in modern day, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, but the side art that Arcade one on there, I agree with you. It is kind of grainy. I got it in kind of a dark, LED lit kind of room, so
You
I really
won't
don't
notice it.
I don't really notice it, and I think it looks kind of dope to me, honestly. I mean, the mashup, it doesn't bother me like it bothers other people. I guess seeing the extra players instead of the one CGI player up there. So yeah, my biggest drawbacks about this cabinet were the cons were the marquee being washed out and the late hits being removed. But once I got past like, okay, late hits, that's just like a bonus feature. That's, oh, I'm rubbing it in your face, I got an interception type deal. And then once I replaced the marquee, I love this cabinet, bro. I'll never get rid of it.
Yeah.
Only way I could see me getting rid of it is if they did an XO or they did a deluxe version, but I still might not even get rid of it because I still got my old NBA Jam. As long as it plays, I might keep it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. In the dark room, can't really notice the graininess of the side art at all. So huge valid points that you made completely, and I completely agree with you. And I would never get rid of this cabinet either because it's an online enabled cabinet, and most of the time, online works. Like we
Mhm.
proved that when we did our Blitz tournament.
Yeah.
We got people together who signed in at the same time and looked for each other, played each other.
Mhm.
Nobody lagged out. No games disconnected.
We did have a couple weird instances where I thought it looked like they got a touchdown, but they didn't. I think we seen one weird like kind of glitch thing, I think, but
Yeah,
you know,
I know exactly what you're talking about. There was one time I think I was playing Smoke Break. On my screen it said I sacked him, and then on his screen he caught the ball in the end zone and got the touchdown. So when it came back to us picking our plays, it registered that I sacked him and that he was on his fourth down. I remember that specifically because it, even though it showed him getting the ball passed to him on my screen, if you rewatch the stream, it'll say quarterback sack loss, and the screen was still at the quarterback, but he got the touchdown. So
yeah. So
those
there's some,
there's still
there's some
bugs.
bugs. Yeah, there's some bugs, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like if we didn't bash these, not we definitely got to tell them the cons about these cabs, but this cab got over bashed. It was kind of the butt of the joke for Arcade1up for a long time. It was like, oh, these are at Ollie's and they're going for, this price and that price. But like, bro, we begged and begged for this football cabinet. And now that we got it, bro, it's really not as bad as people make it out to be. I had fun with it, and I think it deserves a spot in the top 10. Who don't love playing some football, bro?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a great party cab, and that's the reason why. Another reason why I can't knock it is can't knock it for the online is because the real arcade did not have online. You were not able to just play somebody random.
Yeah. Leaderboards, they added
Yeah,
that. They added the online, the friends, I love it, bro. I'm so happy to have this a part of my home arcade collection. I put it in the top 10 for sure.
and see, Retro Lizard hates one up, man. And he bought one when it first came out. Thought it was the best cab they made.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Blitz as you knew it from the arcade back in the day, but it is, you know, it's like it's a modern day Blitz, man. It's fun. It's
Yeah,
a modern
absolutely.
day retro Blitz. It's got some online features. There's a lot of remastered games. If you see the reviews on that Star Wars Battlefront, bro, are really bad right now. They remaster some of these games and they just don't play like the originals at all. This plays like the original minus the late hits.
So yeah, everybody in the chat that's got a Blitz is agreeing. I love my Blitz. I love this thing. This thing's awesome. The 49-way joysticks is the best part. The online features are cool. Just a lot of people in our chat totally agree, and it's one of the best cabs if you got it for like, especially if you got it for $2.99 or less. Say at Ollie's or when Sam's had their blowout sale on it, Walmart had that small blowout sale. It
You
was
got
the
it for
best cab to get.
174 right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy. $174. I paid full price. He likes his infinity game table.
MG troll.
I believe him in some weird way.
Hey, and perfect comment, bad guy. I'd rather have this version of Blitz than nothing at all. This
Thank
is one of
you.
my favorite cabinets. Totally agree.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad that they were able to get this to us, even in the form it's in, it's better than nothing, bro.
Exactly. Next cabinet, man. You ready?
Let's do it.
Class 81.
Class of 81, man. I'm gonna let you
Now,
talk on this one. You own this, right?
I do not own the deluxe. I own the original Class 81. The marquee was terrible, number one. Super washed out. Like, you can see through the print where it just looks like they took paint, like a paintbrush.
Mm-hmm.
So I swapped it out with a Savos this past week. Game changer. I'm truly a Savos arcade believer now. The dude is magical with what he does.
Yeah.
My mom, this is my mom's favorite cab. She loves Mrs. Pac-Man. My wife loves this cabinet because it has Dig Dug. To me, this Class 81 to me has the best games list of all the like Namco Bandai uh, cabs, straight up, in my opinion. Because you got Mrs. Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaga 88, which where's Galaga Guy 88? Why ain't he here yet? Shout out to that guy. But it's got Galaxian, it's got Dig Dug 2, Rolling Thunder, Rally X, Tower Draga, Rompers. It's to me, it's the entire game list is playable and
Mm.
fun.
Does that
And
one you have the leaderboards?
it has the leaderboards. Yes, I got the leaderboards on this. On mine, it has the riser that says Class 81 at the bottom with a Mrs. Pac-Man and a Galaga ship on the other side. It has a light up deck, which is not like Killer Instinct where it stays lit up. When you turn the cabinet off and turn it back on, it will come back on with it. Mine won't stay lit. It will turn off when I turn the cabinet off. I have to manually turn it back on.
That's like X-Men.
Yeah. So,
I'm pretty sure. Now, does this have the same PCB as the deluxe, or are they different PCBs, different game lists?
same game list as the deluxe.
Okay.
Everything's completely the same, just the design is different. It sounds better because of the way the cabinet's built, the way the screen's slanted, and the speakers with speaker grills shoot that sound down, bounces off the screen right into your face.
Would you ever consider getting the deluxe version of the cab you got?
I funny story. I almost pulled the trigger last week because Wayfair was having a sale on a crap load of cabinets, and they had the Class 81 Deluxe for I think 401. So normally it was like $399. It would be like $399 at a normal store, but Wayfair is weird with their prices and it adds like $1 or $2. So it was like 401.96, and I was like, dang man. When I got this cabinet from Wayfair, it was an open box for $160. That's one reason why I bought it. But old school classic Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man to me is a hell of a lot funner than regular Pac-Man.
Yeah, I like Miss Pac-Man more, but I still like Pac-Man.
I don't know if it's like the sound effects or the way the game plays or what it is, but to me it's just so much more fun than Pac-Man.
I like the colors of the mazes more.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good comparison. But yeah, so in a way, I feel like I would upgrade. My other thought is I could get with G.I. Joel and see if he can make a seamless riser for me. That way I can make it look more like a deluxe. And then I can add retro 530 coin door to it if I
Yeah,
really
that's a
wanted
good option
wanted
too.
to.
Yeah.
Or the resale value on my cabinet, I put it up for sale just to test the waters. I probably had like 50 people in one day asking me for it. And they're like, I'll take, will you take 300 for it? Because I put 450. I wanted to put it out of range. And most offers I got was like 300, 350. Now that I think about it, if I ever really wanted to do an upgrade to a deluxe version of this, I would totally sell it 300, 350 and get the deluxe version if it went on sale for 400. But yeah,
Nice.
this is one of my favorite cabinets on them for sure. This is definitely in the top 5 for me.
Yeah, and you gotta have some kind of Pac-Man cab in the top 10, right?
Yeah, got to. And this to
It's,
me is the best of the best.
yeah, and it's made they've made Arcade One Up so much money with these titles, and this is a title, regardless, like you said, it's just multi-generational. Your kid's gonna play it, your wife's gonna play it, grandma's gonna play it, you're gonna play it. Everyone knows these games pretty much.
Yeah, and Jason, I get what you're saying. I kind of torn on the whole side art being, 2 different games because I got my cabinets behind me are sandwiched together. When I had Class 81 on the end, I had it set up so that I would see the Galaga side, but I really wanted to see the Mrs. Pac-Man side. So I was like, crap, if I want to rearrange this, I got to push it all the way to the end. I think, yeah, separate cabs with separate like marquees and everything. I get it. That's something I would also consider, but
Yeah, but like
I
you said, space saving wise, when you're in this hobby like we are, eventually space becomes an issue. You know,
yeah, and Class 81, even though yes, it is a 2000 year 2000 cab, I see that cabinet everywhere I go. Like it's at a local bowling alley I go to. It's at a movie theater
yeah,
I go to. It's
mhm.
it was at a lot of arcades I went to. It's just that cabinet's everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I've seen this cab a lot too.
being that it's a 2000 cab, I actually have a lot of nostalgia for it because that was what 24 years ago. So I mean, it counts for me.
And 24 years ago is retro.
Yeah, yeah. If you think about it with game consoles and everything. Um. Oh, I got to check that out. Yeah, Joel posted
Yeah,
a seamless riser. I got to check that out. So thank you
that's what
for.
that's what I thought you was referring to because he got it like his new design up.
Well, he's been sharing in chat, his design and everything, the updates that he's doing. But I didn't know if he was actually bringing it up.
It's on
To
his YouTube community post. Check it out.
perfect. I got to check that out.
GI Joe is doing seamless risers to fire.
Yeah. Thank you, Retro Lizard, for saying that, man. GI Joel, he's good, man. He's awesome. So glad I'm really good friends with him too. So I'm glad he's in our community. Yeah, if it had the real Class 81 ROM instead of it
Mm.
being separate games, Mrs. Pac-Man and Galaga, if it just had the Class 81 ROM, you could have real Pac-Man as the secret game on there when you do that button combination to get to it.
They're not
I
gonna do that.
I really wish they would have, but yeah, because of licensing issues, they can't do that.
They're not gonna be. Then they wouldn't sell Pac-Man XLs. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't make financial sense. They're in business.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Mm,
so what's next? What's our next cab?
yeah, yeah, we're done here. So next cab, Toy Star Wars.
Yeah, I got one way back there. I got for $50 during the Walmart heist.
Did you?
Yeah, bro. Hey
So
man, I don't know. That was on Walmart, bro. They were letting them go for the low, and I had to get in, get it while the getting was good. I was seeing all kinds of people on the Facebook group posting like, "Man, I got this Star Wars $50. I got the Star Wars $50." At first, I thought it was cap, like it was some bull crap. So I'm like, I just kept seeing the post, but then I see in the comments other people like, with their receipts all over the country, getting these cabinets, these $500 cabinets for $50. And I guess there was just like some weird loophole where you threw it in your cart, then you went to an in-store pickup, and then you cashed out at the register and it cash out for 50. And I did it, and I had the receipt in my hand. The manager tried to stop me, like, hold on, you can't do this. And I was like, bro, I got my receipt, bro. You ain't about to stop me now. Like, I'm going to my car. He was like, there's nothing we could do. Just help him. Just help him. He told the one worker, like, just help him take it to the car. He was all pissed off.
came up. So my Walmarts around me were weird, man. The only cabinets they carried was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles OG cab, Mrs. Pac-Man, and NBA Jam, and they carried like the original Mortal Kombat 2. Never had they, never did they have this cabinet at all. Like I didn't even know they even released it when I first got into this hobby. So unfortunately, I never got into this. I never could get into this cabinet until that Killer Instinct fiasco where they were selling them for $150.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many people that emailed them and said, "Hey, y'all canceled my order and gave me this stupid high five. What can y'all do to fix that?" And they're like, "Well, we got a bunch of cabs that we can offer you for like say $299 or $199, depending on what it was." Well, they were offering the Atari Star Wars for $299, and somebody in our Discord was like, "Hey, anybody want to buy this cab? Buy a cab, pick it, and I'll ship it to you." So I jumped on that, and I was like, "I want the Atari Star Wars," because everybody says that is one of the holy grail Arcade1up products. That this is one of the best ones they ever made, and I didn't have any nostalgia for it. But seeing how a lot of people were saying that this is their favorite cabinet, they're so glad to have it in their collection. It's a part of history, with the way the ROMs play and the flight yoke and everything. I was like, cool. It's a unique control in my arcade. I gotta have it. So I opted for that one. And $299, yeah, $299 for this cabinet, hands down. Fantastic price. So glad you got yours at 50, but I'm happy with my $299 on this cab.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think it was $299 when it first came out. And the thing about this cab when it first came out, it was one of the first cabs to have a unique shape, unique side panels.
Hmm.
Prior to that, they were pretty much cookie cutter. Yeah, everything had the shark fin kind of top or
Yeah,
whatever they call that.
yeah,
And then this also had the unique yoke control. So it was a really big deal. I remember when this first came out. They they unveiled this, I think, at Evo, or not Evo, CES.
yeah,
And I think they ripped they had a blanket over it or whatever. They really unveiled this cab, and it was a big deal at the time. Me personally, I never had nostalgia. I've always loved Star Wars, but this game I didn't play growing up. And the once or twice I played it in the arcades, I really didn't like it. I was past the vector stage of graphics. I really grew up in like the sprite era. And yeah, so it didn't really speak to me. So I literally only got in because the $50 kind of grab deal. But then once I got it, I was really impressed with just the build, the overall build of the cab. It had a higher riser than all the other cabinets. The yoke had a really unique control scheme and it worked really, really, really well. It still does to this day. They
mhm.
got some unique graphical filters on it where you can make the vector graphics glow a little bit, which I think was pretty much spot on. Like their emulation was really good on this cabinet.
Yeah. And being that Code Mystics is the one that did the software side, so that you could add those like filters and stuff like that. When I found out that they're the ones that actually worked on the software side of this cabinet, it made it even more important for me to get it, because anything Code Mystics touches, in my opinion, is gold. And obviously, what they did with the Killer Instinct software, being able to run off that Arcade1up shitty ass PCB and got it to run as good as it did, especially online.
And not just
It,
KI, they got KI too to run on,
yeah,
so
yeah,
but
it's gold.
yeah. But yeah, on the Star Wars, it just for me, like I said, I didn't have the nostalgia for it, but it's actually one of the cabs that is close to being like if I had to get rid of a cab, I'd probably get rid of that one right now. Like it came out with Lethal Enforcers, that cab would probably go. But regardless, it's a top 10 cab from Arcade1up since 2018. It's one of their top 10 cabs. I think
Yeah,
nobody would
absolutely.
argue that.
No, absolutely. And seeing in the comments, there's a lot of people talking about Burger Time. I'm one of those guys that don't think I'll ever get my hands on a Burger Time, at least affordable. I would love to have that cabinet, and it would be in my top 10 if I was ever to be able to get my hands on it. Um,
I have to play it first, to be honest. I
no,
can't judge that. That's one cab that I really can't judge just off other reviews, and unfortunately, I don't. Plus the game list on it, I wasn't too thrilled about.
oh yeah, Karate Champ, and what was the other one?
Caveman Ninja or something.
Cave Ninja. Was Bad Dudes wasn't on it?
Yeah, Bad Dudes is on it, but
It
but
was
the
on it.
aspect ratio is messed up. So I was
I got you.
never a real fan of that game list.
I'm just such a huge fan of Burger Time and the way the cabinet was, shaped with the chef on the side. Um,
Yeah, it had a unique side panels. It
yeah,
definitely had it, and it's limited. It's definitely an honorable mention. We'll tell the chat that it's an
yeah.
honorable mention. It didn't make our list, but it's definitely an honorable mention.
There you go. That's the way we'll put it. But this cabinet, Star Wars cabinet, was so popular that they decided to re-release it, and that's what's pictured here in this graphic. Um, but it was such a good cabinet, and a lot of people were upset that they missed out on it. That they had to re-release this cabinet, and they released what? They re-released it for what? $5.99? Is that right?
And you'd have to ask the chat on that one, but yeah, I think it was priced more than the original.
Yeah. So tons more than original. It was more in line with today's pricing, anyway. But for $5.99, a lot of people were jumping on that anyway. They're like, "Holy crap! I got a Star Wars cabinet, and I don't have to pay $1,200, $1,500, $10,000 for this daggone thing that
Well,
people are
because
trying to sell it on eBay for."
the resale prices were going crazy for this for a while.
Yeah,
Almost for like about 2 years. They were pretty outrageous online.
yeah. So yeah, the original Atari Star Wars $4.99 is what it went up to uh, before they all sold out and everything, and then five
Okay.
ninety nine for this re-release. Yeah, so it whatever the economy was pushing these things to is what it ended up being. But yeah, $5.99. People didn't care, man. They were paying full price for this thing. Like Ralphie said, there are only two cabs I paid full price for, and that's Tron and Star Wars. And I agree. A lot of people were like that. The
I
next
can't say the
step,
same.
yeah, but the next step is a lot of people want the Star Wars to be in an XL body body shape, and a lot of people will jump on that. I see a lot of people asking about that. They're like, we need that. And Costco was supposed to do something with that, but I think they wanted a golden tee instead. But that's not a hearsay.
I want Star Wars trilogy first, but I don't think Sega will do it. I don't think they'll get the chipset. It just seems like they're not moving in that direction.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
yeah, anything's possible in the
Maybe
future.
it's maybe videos like this will inspire them, to know that we really love some of these cabinets they made.
Yeah. Next cab, good old NBA Jam.
Yeah. Boom shakalaka.
So this was what
Yeah.
was this the first 4 player that they did, or what they did Turtles first,
Man,
and then they did this?
this cab was groundbreaking in every level. This one was, I think, the first light up marquee. I think it had the first online play, the first 4 player, if not four. Oh no, Turtles was the first 4 player, but this was the first online cab, and this had the first light up marquee. I'm pretty sure. You know, the original. Now, pictured here is the deluxe tournament edition version, which is like, the evolution of this cab. But yeah, NBA Jam, man, every version of it's pretty fire, except for I think the party caves, which don't have the online accessibility, or the countercades also don't have that. But all their 3/4 scales, the deluxe models, and even the Shack Jam have online capabilities. You could play NBA Jam, NBA Tournament Edition, or Hang Time on all these cabinets. The online's always got people online, unlike what some people say. These lobbies they always got activity any hour of the day, which is awesome. you know, NBA Jam lives on through Arcade1up, which is fire.
Yeah, and this deluxe design is the pinnacle. Like, I don't think you
Hmm.
can get it any better than this with the slanted control deck. I don't really care for the light up buttons, but I'm glad you can turn those off. But
Yeah, that is nice.
that light up marquee is perfect. The cabinet shape is perfect, and the height to me is perfect as well. It's a great deluxe cab. I don't think they could re-release it to be any better, other than maybe an XL size again, without the shack, you know, crap, as well as the crappy TN monitor that they had on the XL.
Yeah, I definitely like if I had to if I knew they were never gonna make an XL, they were never gonna like if I knew they were done making NBA Jam cabs, I'd probably buy this deluxe version. Uh just to get it to look a little bit more like that arcade accurate version. Plus, next to my Blitz, it have a more similar cab uh side panel design. I don't
Yeah.
like that the NBA Jam logo's lower on this one though.
Hmm.
Like if you look at the OG NBA Jam, the NBA logo comes up to about it comes up a little past the monitor and the bezel.
Yes, I do remember that.
Where this one, the NBA Jam logo is like tucked below the control panel. I don't know why they did that. Um, but everything else I really do like. I like the slanted control deck. The light up buttons, I you know, they're here or there. I mean, I don't really mind them. It doesn't bother me. I'd probably turn them on. Uh, uh, you know, I like everything about this. I would probably actually swap out that marquee for a Sable OG NBA Jam one though. Just make mine a little different if I did
Yeah,
buy one.
that's not a bad idea. I do like how that marquee, like the paint scheme and everything, kind of just feels it. Kind of looks really good with the rest of the cabinet. Kind of
Yeah,
goes
it
well.
does flow with the side art and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's fire. While we're on the subject though, if Arcade1up's listening, if you were to make an NBA Jam XL, I would love to see like that. You know, if you do get an upgraded chipset and all that, you know, the on fire edition of NBA Jam that was on I think PS3 and maybe PS4, and it was even on mobile devices. You can, it was on iPhone. I mean, if it could run on mobile devices, I'm sure they could get. It was an upgraded version of Jam, man, and it had like better character face mod. You know, you could LeBron look like LeBron, you know, and big head moding and look all pixelated. I'd love to see that be included and added. You know, because that was one they were upgrading rosters on and stuff back in the day.
yeah. One guy to talk to about any of that kind of stuff would be Gamer Fridge, because he did mod his to work with the PlayStation 3 version. Uh, I think he did a video on it. It's awesome. I did see gameplay on it. It's really cool. So he's one
Yeah,
guy to definitely talk to if anybody else is interested in doing that. Um, but for a lot of people, this was their first or second cabinet that they got
and it was their
starting out.
first sports cab too. You know, their first real entry into the sports arena.
Yeah, this got a lot of people into the hobby. If it wasn't the first, it was definitely the second. For me personally, it was my second ever cabinet that I ever bought. I got it for $199 at Walmart. They were trying to get rid of them. Um, it only worked for 3 days. The third day that I had it, I turned it on. No picture, just sound. Um, Arcade1up tried to fix it for me without sending me. They sent me everything but a brand new PCB, which I knew that's what the problem was, but they wouldn't send me the PCB. So I watched Retro Lizard's video of him modding his NBA Jam. I think he modded it with a Raspberry Pi. So I followed his instructions exactly. Drilled out the control panel to add more buttons to all the things and everything. I put a Raspberry Pi in it, and I've enjoyed it ever since. Now I've got that cabinet. I shrunk it down to a two-player deck and reskinned it to one of my favorite sports arcades of all time, NHL Open Ice 2-on-2 open eyes challenge. That, and I just got the rest of the graphics in yesterday, guys, and I put them on. I'm very dissatisfied with what Escape Pod did. I'll talk about that later in the video, but the measurements are not right. But to a normal person, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. They probably won't even notice it. I think my kids said it looked good, and they didn't even notice all the imperfections. Even if I pointed out to them, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that." But to me, to everybody else in the home arcade community, y'all know what it is. If y'all spend the money to mod these things, it matters to you. You see it every day, and it bothers the shit out of you.
Yeah, they might fix that, or you might, like I said, we discussed, look into a reverse printed acrylic bezel instead of just slapping a sticker over the bezel you currently got.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show y'all in a video and everything. But
What we got next?
Great cab though. I love this cab. If I was to ever buy another NBA Jam, I would definitely get the deluxe.
Yeah, I think I like the deluxe more than the Shack Jam.
And plus, to me, I would have the complete collection. I got my NHL, my NFL, and then I get the NBA again. So next cab, this one's close to your heart.
Yeah, this is one I picked that I think a lot of people probably wouldn't pick, and probably might have some issues with being on this list. But that's why this is your retro and not your show. All right, so I love this cabinet, man. I have a lot of good things to say about it, and I think it speaks also to what we were saying about Blitz earlier. Like, you can change some things. You might remove late hits, but that does not mean that I'm not going to have fun on this cabinet, bro. And I have had so much fun on my Fast and the Furious cabinet. I think it's the best racer they put out. They put out Outrun, they put out Ridge Racer, but I think this Fast and the Furious speaks to all kinds of demographics, car lovers, people who like tuning up cars. It speaks to the movie lovers. It speaks to just kids who know about the franchise. They just heard of the movie, so they want to play it, but they might never heard of an Outrun or heard of a Ridge Racer, and then you can upgrade the cars. You can upgrade all the cars in the game, not just one. You know what I mean? You can upgrade all the cars in the game. It actually saves your progress. There's 2 different games you can really play in the game. Yeah, they're split, but it's I don't know, man. This cabinet, like, I can't speak highly enough about it. You can link 8 cabinets together, something like that. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's got the 4-gear shifter that no other racing cabinet has. Like, this cabinet out the box is just fun to play, bro. Only thing I really had to do was upgrade the marquee. I could have used the stock pedals, but I knew the way I was going to use this cab, and I wanted longevity out of it. I did the buy stuff pedal upgrade, which was totally worth it. I got some Thrustmaster pedals on my Fast and the Furious unit. And then I happened to put some LED buttons in it just to make it look a little bit like the arcade, where the music buttons are lit up and boost buttons lit up, But, you don't have to do those mods. I lit up the coin doors. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can stock. This cabinet stock is fun, bro. It's just fun. The leaderboards give you a heck of a challenge. Like, I'm not, I used to be in the top 40 on most of the leaderboards, and I fell so far because so many people bought this cab,
So, in your opinion, like, Walmart has this cabinet and Amazon has this cabinet for $4.99. Completely
It's
worth
worth
it?
it. Completely worth it. I think it's completely worth it. $500, my opinion. But some people, money's different to different people, right? Some people, $500 might be all they got. They don't have that disposable income. For me, I think it's worth the 500, bro. You're gonna get so much gameplay out of this thing, and do you got to ask yourself, do you want a racing cat in your house? I wanted some variety. I wanted some sports games, some fighting games, some retro games with the Pac-Man and Galaga and Centipede, but I also wanted a racing game, and I wanted a shooting game. You know what I mean? So this to me, when I had to pick what was available and what do we have available, we really don't have much available in the home arcade space right now, unless you're going you're paying on eBay or something. Because really, are they still selling Outrun? No. Are they still selling Ridge Racer? I think that's sold out. So
Yep.
this is really your only option, and I think it's a really good option. And I honestly, I got FOMO for this cab. You were saying I was giving you FOMO for it. I got FOMO. I want another one. If not for anything, for a backup steering wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I love this cab, bro. I can't speak highly enough about it. I have a review on my channel. If y'all haven't checked it out, go check it out. You know what I mean? And I give you a whole breakdown or rundown on what I think about the cab. But there are some cons. It runs at 30 frames per second, not 60 frames per second like the arcade. Um, Tokyo Drift in the arcade had all the maps from the first Fast and the Furious, and in this game it doesn't have those maps, but they're still on this cabinet in the original Fast and the Furious game. But the gameplay mechanics from Tokyo Drift transfer over to the original game, which bothers some people because it's not authentic to the original ROM. But for me, I like the extra game mechanics in the first game, so it doesn't bother me really.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't own this cab, and I no longer have a racer anymore. My only racer that I did have was Ridge Racer, and I never played that game in a real arcade, so I didn't have any nostalgia from that. The nostalgia I had from Ridge Racer was for PlayStation, and it fit and everything. It worked, and I enjoyed it. My kids enjoyed it, but it lost its fun factor after a while. And the only games that were fun to me on that cabinet was Ace Driver. Uh, so I got turned off to racing cabs. But when this came out, I was like, I never played this. I never got a chance to enjoy this in a real arcade. Every time I tried to, it was broken. But seeing how Tech Buzz was enjoying it, seeing how you really enjoyed it, it started turning me around on it. Now I didn't like the price of $5.99, but now that it dropped down to $4.99, it's like, huh, I need somebody to sell me on this. And between you and Retro Lizard, y'all are selling me on this. Like, it should be, I should put a racer back in my home, and this will be the one to get because I don't think we'll ever see a Daytona. Like, I would
Bro,
love
it's
to have a
so
Daytona.
fun, man. You double tap the pedal and you could flip over other cars. Like, there's something, you could go on two wheels like y- it's just there's so many tricks you can do and just little stuff, from the drifting, there's it's just fun, bro. And yeah, like I feel like all these games they get stale after a while if you play them constantly. I don't play my cabs all the time. I really work too much. I got too much going on to play these all the time. But yeah, when I do fire this cab up and when somebody does come to visit, I enjoy the heck out of it. I almost have to quit playing it after a few minutes because it gets my adrenaline pump, my heart racing so fast. I'll get to sweating playing this cab, bro. Like it'll have you sweating. It's a little workout, man. Anyone that's played this, they're like, I need a break after a few races. Like, I need a break, man.
So it's a
It's
good adrenaline rush.
yeah, man. Like it does something to me. Pause that none of these cabs do in here. It does something. Gets your heart racing, man. You get a little adrenaline rush playing it, man. It's fun.
Yeah. So in my case, like with my kids in the house and everything, um, I think if I was to buy this cabinet, they would probably hog the crap out of this. So in
Yeah.
my case, I would have to get two so I could link them and they play each other, and it'll bring more enjoyable. So my thing is, I was like, dang man, it's $4.99. If it could drop down to $3.99, it'd be to me, it'd be
uh,
worth buying two. You know?
yeah, it'd be so hard for me not to buy another at that price because I'd really like to link two of them too, but like I said, I like variety and space wise. I'm running out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing that's like turning me off to it. That's the only thing that's really holding me back. But I'm watching this cab because I think I need to add it to my collection. Um,
Yeah, it sucks it doesn't have online capability as far as racing other people, but them
yeah,
leaderboards give you something to strive for, bro. You you'll
and
you'll be
see,
finding yourself trying to beat your best times, or even the local leaderboards. Beat your kids' best times on it and stuff.
And see what I watched gameplay on this, and what I really like about this compared to Ridge Racer is you're guaranteed pretty much to finish every race that's on Fast and Furious. You're not going to run out of time.
Yeah,
Like
no,
the time limit is not so strict that you're going to run out. Um, Ridge Racer though, like if you hit a wall one time, you're not finishing that race.
yeah.
You're
Ridge
going to run
Racer
out.
is
You're going
way
to run out of
more.
time.
Ridge Racer is way more like a simulation racing game. This is more arcadey, you know. And this was also developed by uh the people who developed Cruising USA and that. So this
Yeah,
is like the
raw
evolution.
thrills. Hmm.
The This is the evolution of the Cruising USA series in a way. So if you like Cruising USA, you like cruising the world, I guarantee you'll like this game, bro. Because I had no nostalgia for it. I never played this game till I bought it. And then I bought it and I was like, it's one of my top 10 arcades now.
Yeah, so if you wanted a modern racer, this is the one to get, obviously. Unless you're going to go the custom route, say like with Retro Blizzard or buy stuff arcades and build your own racer. Gamer Fridge is doing something similar. He's building his own racer, but he's buying the cockpit with the screen, mounting and everything, with the racing seat. That's
Yeah,
really neat.
I'm glad you mentioned that though too, because Buy Stuff's got a you seen they got a sit down conversion kit for this now they put out,
Hmm. Yep, and I
which is
watched it on
fire.
a live stream. It's awesome looking.
Yeah, and
So
they got the whole side art where you could get it authentic if you want, you know.
yeah, um, so that there's options for this, and it's not super expensive when it comes to those upgrading options either. So I like what Buy Stuff is doing. Um,
You
basically,
you seen with my review too. I had a lot of upgrades. I had the pedals done in like the first week. Like it's not hard to
yeah,
do, bro. It's like pretty much plug and play, you know. And if you buy the Buy Stuff pedal upgrade, when you buy the cab and do it while you're assembling it, it's really, really easy. I made it
that's
hard on myself because I had to take the cab apart, put the stuff back in, you know. But I definitely recommend the Buy Stuff pedal upgrade on this cabinet.
well, I think you may have sold me on this cabinet, man. I do feel like I need a racer back in the house, and this might be it because I don't think we'll ever get Daytona. I don't see it happening. Cruising's definitely not going to happen. This is the closest thing you're going to get to that.
It's March. We ain't heard from One Up yet, so things are looking grim.
Yeah. All right, man. So that's probably your number one, right?
Uh, it's up there.
All right.
It's probably tied.
Tied. Okay. We're gonna find out in this list what is your tie. What's it tied with? But here's the number. Here's the next one. Tron.
Yeah, there's a cab neither of us own, right?
Yeah. So this is that sleeper. Well, not sleeper. Really, it's a big deal. That's a lot of people are now starting to talk about again. People like PD7. Um, he kind of wants to bring this in his home arcade, and this cabinet never goes on sale. It's always $6.99, but we're starting to notice that retailers are starting to say it's no longer available or it's sold out. So are
Hmm.
people buying this, or are they actually starting to get an accurate stock count and they're getting rid of these, or are
I
people
think
actually buying them?
I think supplies are getting slim on some of these cabs that we really desire, you know, and this cab's got a big cult following, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, people who love this cabinet, they want the arcade cabinet, but getting one that runs and does everything they want. We've seen the horror stories in our community that people that have bought this cabinet and it just didn't work out for them, so they ended up getting rid of it, and then they went back to our Arcade1up. You know, this cab accurately represents Tron. It does everything it should do. The biggest complaint people have is the flight stick on it snapping. You know, but with a GRS upgrade, that's easily obtainable. This cab, you can make it everything you want, you know what I mean? It the lighting inside of it, the what's that, the black light or whatever they call it, I think it's
Hmm.
a LED light. You can actually change the coloring, but it's just fire, bro. And then they got that, what's that, the H panel or something up in there you can swap
S
out.
panel, S panel.
The S panel, yeah, the S panel upgrade. Who's that through? Is that
Uh,
Tulsa
is that thing that
Arcades?
Tulsa? Yeah, I think Tulsa Arcades.
Yeah, and there's just, bro, yeah, this. I mean, I don't have no nostalgia for this cab, but I have to put it in the top 10 just based off looks alone. I always thought Tron was uh, just aesthetically a top 10 cab.
Yeah, I have no nostalgia for this. I've never played it. I've actually never seen one in public. Never seen one with my own eyes. But based off what everybody says about this cabinet, that it's beautiful, it's tall. Um, the with the black lights and everything, the light up system on the thing, all the upgrades you can do, like to make it more like the authentic thing, is nuts and insane. Like there's so much attention to detail that the community is like, hey, there's this product out here that can add uh like a mirror to the inside like the original one, or like what the extra screen or whatever.
Yeah.
um it's so cool looking.
And I don't know exactly what they do with that. I think they throw like a little like Amazon like photo looper thing in there or something like that, or it could like loop a little video and it just loops a little Tron video over and over up in that top panel.
Yeah,
Maybe
and Stock Jock's the one that I wanted to mention that recently
yeah,
did
the S panel.
the S panel upgrade. So but yeah, B Kong still has this in his arcade in his home. He's not getting rid of it. So a lot of people, this was a day one. um
Yeah. I honestly I've never even played the games that much. I probably need to play the games, and if I fell in love with them like Michael B did, I might have to have this cab too.
Yeah, yeah. Like if this ever came down in price,
It won't.
I it won't. But I'm just saying if it ever did, snowball chance in hell. But if it ever did, I think I would pick this up just because I want to be like, Galaga Guy 88 and some other guys are like, I got the big three. I got Star Wars, I got Dragon's Lair, and I got Tron.
Yeah, those three definitely hitters,
Those are
bro.
the top three most accurate recreations that Arcade1up has done.
Yeah,
And
you look at those cabs, bro, and they remind you of being in an arcade immediately.
yeah, and Tron, man, just totally speaks retro. Period. From the movie, the games, the look of the cabinet, the artwork, it screams retro, and I'm
Yeah,
down for
bro.
that.
Those are
So
the
yeah,
big three.
and you know what? The big three, they're on here because there it is, Dragon's Lair.
Bam.
Yeah, it's weird that I randomly put these on a PowerPoint altogether, but it's weird how I lined it up the way it
Yeah,
did randomly.
we didn't plan that. We didn't plan that.
No,
But
did not
this is
plan that.
another cabinet I don't own.
I don't own it either. I want it. I've always wanted this cabinet. I've heard incredible things about it. I've heard some bad things about it. I have the iArcade Retromania, which has the newer version of the Dragon's Lair games and Space Ace, where they updated the graphics a little bit, cleaned up the video, like HD'd it a little bit,
Hmm.
the menu system and all that kind of stuff. It's cool, but it doesn't. It's a little too easy. Like you can set it on easy mode, and everything lights up on the screen where you need to press left or press right. The original ROM, the Laserdisc game, did not tell you that, except for on the first level on Dragon's Lair 2. But the original Dragon's Lair game, you got no tutorial, you got no longer windows. When it was time to move, you knew when it was time to move and hit right or left on the joystick. And that's say like Cornercade. Cornercade, the only reason he got rid of this cabinet is because it was too hard. That was
He's
it.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know his reasoning. I assume you know, but I do know on our Blitz tournament, he said he suggested somebody don't get it and they'll hate it. But for me personally, this isn't a cabinet. This is I never bought this cabinet because I never really liked the game personally, but I do have great nostalgic experiences and memories of this game. Like I remember vividly going to a Chuck E. Cheese and this game being like center stage there, and there just being a crowd around this game, and everybody like trying to see what is the new arcade game everyone's playing, and where are these sounds coming from that sounds so like a movie. And I got over there and it was like a cartoon playing on an arcade game, and I was like, what am I looking at? This looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, this Don Bluth artwork, and I'm just blown away by this. And I couldn't even understand how they're playing a cartoon in front of my eyes. I didn't understand it as a child, laser disc technology, any of that, you know. So I do have, you know, real good memories of this game, but I didn't play it till I was about a teenager, and that's when like PlayStation was coming out and all that. And I think I got this on like my 3DO at the time, and that was the
Mhm.
first time I really got a chance to play it. And I was just kind of like, oh, it's just like you're really just pressing prompts, you know, left or right or up or down or attack. Which if it's for you, I get it. It's cool. I personally put this in the top 10 just based off the aesthetics of the cab, based off that unique bent light up marquee. Like I love the marquee on this cab. I love the fact that Arcade1up was willing to go, you know, they were trying to, you know, play us by having us put our smartphones in the cab, and we were like, no, we want a
Mhm.
digital scoreboard, you know, we want a real scoreboard up there. And they went back to the drawing board and they fixed it for the fans. Like that's why for me this cab's in the top 10, is because it's the authentic look of it, hands down, you know. I really don't care for the game personally, but if other people do, that's cool. You know, I'm not gonna knock you for that, but I think this is definitely a top 10 cab just based off the authentic look of the cab.
Yeah, the authentic look, um, the way the ROMs actually look, it looks like the disc version, the original ROMs. The numeric scoreboard, how it actually connects and plays along with you playing the game, the shape of the cabinet, the marquee. The biggest complaint for most people is that it sits low. It's a very, very short cabinet. And thankfully Buy Stuff offers what the 4-inch and the 6-inch risers that you can put underneath it. It's just a little stand, doesn't add much, doesn't add any more width to it or anything at the bottom. It just sits right, the riser sits on top of the riser. Um, or the cab sits on top of the buy stuff riser, and it still looks good. Um, this is the one cabinet. If I was to buy another cabinet, the next cabinet I would buy, period, would be this one.
Nice.
I really, 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 really want this cabinet.
Yeah, and
Even though,
like they
e-
said, it has one of the best attract modes, period. You know,
yeah,
like just having this running in the background is just gonna attract people.
yeah, this has the best track mode. Period. Convince me otherwise. Yeah, yeah. You're hands down. You're absolutely right, Doctor Z. Um, And like I said, I got this on my arcade. I got this on my Xbox. I got it on PlayStation. There's tons of ways to play that HD, like upscaled version,
Hmm.
but it's not like this, man. It's not like the true laser disc version, like Arcade1 Up was able to capture, man. Just there's nothing like walking up to a cabinet or walking by a cabinet like this, hearing that attract mode play, seeing the graphics play, especially when I watch other people's like game room tours and they got this cabinet in the background as they like pan the camera around. You see this playing. You see
Oh,
the
I immediately get jealous and I'm like, man, why didn't I buy that? But it's not for me, man. But I love there's certain cabinets that Arcade One Ups made that I love that other people bought. You know, it's not for me, but I love seeing Tron in someone else's home arcade. I love seeing Dragon's Lair in someone else's home arcade, you know.
yeah.
You know, this is something I'm trying to convince Unc to get to be real. I try to convince him to get the weird games I won't get, so I go to his house and play them.
Heck yeah, dude. Um and right now, man, everybody's got this cabinet for $4.99. And
That's not a
you
bad
you
price.
you, you keep mulling over like, damn man, this cabinet forever was $5.99. That's the original retail price. And now everybody's got it for $4.99. You keep mulling it over to yourself. You're like, do I pull the trigger at $4.99? What if they sell out? What if this, what if it goes away, or what if it goes down like $50 more? You know, would you pull the trigger then? It's the waiting game, and I'm afraid I'm going to wait too late, especially with like Tron, and it's going to be gone. I miss Turtles. Like PD7 made me miss Turtles,
Yeah.
and he got that Turtles in Time cabinet. I
Yeah.
hate the way that cabinet looks, but damn it, it has online. I miss having a Turtles cab, man. He made me miss that. He gave me that FOMO, and I hate that I missed out on it. So I'm afraid that this is going to happen with this too, man. I'm going to miss out on this, and as beautiful as this cabinet is, I hate that I would miss out on it. So I'm grinning my teeth, man, every day when I go to bed. I'm like, do I pull the trigger? Do I pull the trigger?
Yeah,
Like,
the FOMO is a big part of it, man. When when you start thinking, especially with these cabs like this, where it's like they'll probably never do it again, right? Like if you really think about it, they'll probably never do this again. You know, it
yeah,
was expensive, for them. They had to go back and change the alphanumeric scoreboard. It's just I don't see them doing it again. So then that's when that FOMO kicks in. You go, man, this might be my last chance to get one of these, or my last chance might be within the next 6 months to get my hands on one of these.
yeah. Um, and yeah. So Ralphie, when you say PD7 is going to get a Dragon's Lair and Tron eventually, I feel like I'm in that same boat, man. Believe, man. So literally, like Stock Jock knows, I've talked about it in the past with him. I've texted him a lot. I'm like, hey, man, Dragon's Lair is $4.99. I got a $50 coupon. Should I hit it? Should I go ahead and get it? He's like, yeah, get it. And I didn't get it. Instead, what did I pick up? I picked up Joust. That's what I picked up instead.
And
Which,
then we watched Joust drop down in price after you bought it over and over.
yeah, man. I'm mad about that, but then again, it is what it is.
That's the thing about FOMO, though. You're like, man, I got to get it before it's gone. But then they'll have a sale a month later, and you're like, damn it. Could
yeah.
have waited one more month, but you never know, bro. You never know.
And there's great upgrades for this cabinet. That waterfall deck replacement. There's an Etsy store buyer. He was on Kong's video before about that waterfall deck. It's really, really nice looking.
Yeah, it does. The Star Wars got one too that looks really good too.
Yeah. So if I was to buy this cabinet, I would definitely look into getting that eventually.
Those
Just
aren't cheap though. Those
no,
are
they're not.
expensive, and they're really just cosmetic upgrades. Like the
Yeah,
marquee upgrades for me are a bigger deal because they shine. Like you got to, they're right in your face pretty much. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But the control decks, those I get around to upgrading,
yeah,
which I'm in the process of doing, as you see.
yeah. So yeah,
That's funny, Jason.
functional furniture, man. It's the one thing you always, but it's the one thing that you will show, your family and friends that come over, where you
Yeah.
say, "Hey, man, I got an arcade. I got a home arcade," and this is one of the centerpieces that you would show off for sure. I got a good friend that lives that. Well, I mean, me and him talk. We work together and everything. But he's always wanted me to get a Dragon's Lair cab because he wanted to come over and play it. And I was like, "Well, I got the arcade." He goes, "No, I want that. I want the cabinet. I want you to get the
No.
cabinet.
Yeah.
Don't. I don't care about. I can." He's like, "I can play it on my PlayStation right now. It's not about that. I want the cabinet. I want the
I
authentic
never.
looking thing."
Yeah, I never liked that arcade. Well, once I saw Arcade1up's version, I was like, I can't. If I bought the Arcade1, I would have been mad.
Stock Jock, in all fairness, yeah, you do tell everybody to get it. You're not wrong. Oh, Retro Lizard, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You hate Joust.
So let's continue. What we got next?
Next one, X-Men.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. My dogs, because I'm a
There it
big
is, right
Marvel
there.
fan. I'm a big X fan, and I am #1 on the global leaderboards as Nightcrawler on this cabinet. Check me out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So look, there's the cabinet. There's the cabinet right there, guys.
right there. Yeah, and it got
That
the
man. That's
save up
his butter.
upgrade. It got the light up buttons, and then I actually put the little coin door art on a little I don't know what panel that is. H panel? Is that the H panel?
I think maybe it's
J
J panel.
J panel. J panel. See, I'm terrible with this. I built how many? I don't know what panel. But yeah, I put the little coin. I bought those, I think, from Sabo too. I'm not sure. Oh, and then I got the art under the control panel from 99 Lives Arcade that goes their wraparound, you know. But that's all I did to this. I just did cosmetic upgrades, and I love this cabinet as it is. The one big thing I think they missed on this, which I know is a licensing issue, but Sega Spider-Man should have been on this. It's a 4-player beat 'em up. It would have fit the control scheme perfectly, you know, and it's a Disney Marvel property. I really feel like if they would have threw a little extra change at Sega, they could have made Konami and Sega like work for this cabinet for Disney, you know, like, hey, don't do it for us, do it for Disney, you know what I mean, or whatever. And I still think they could probably add that game to this cabinet and then drop a XL version of Spider-Man with these games on it, you know, and it be a re-release like they did MVC2, but with a little bonus. And then to pat us, you know, old owners on the back, they go, hey, you got a free update. It's Spider-Man. And now your cabinet's functional with the XL version, the Spider-Man, you know. So then if you wanted the X-Men version, you could have the 3/4 scale with the same game list, or you could have the XL version Spider-Man. This is me hypothetically just speculating, something I'd like to see. But yeah, man, I love this cab, bro. It's got Captain America and the Avengers on it. It's got X-Men, one of the best beat 'em ups of all time. You know, but they were already crossing licenses on this with Daddy East and Konami, you know, but we know Daddy East is a little easier to work with, but still, you know, it would have been nice to see Spider-Man on this. That's my only con. Besides that, I love this cabinet. I got nothing to say bad about it. It'll never leave my arcade. Probably never.
Yeah, so this is a cabinet I don't own, but because of, you know, people like you, PD7, Cornercade, you are putting a little bit of FOMO into it, where it's like, hey, man, this cabinet's always $4.99 now instead of it being $7.99. It's worth picking up.
Yeah, because it stayed at that $700 price point the longest. Like when other cabs were dropping, this cab wasn't dropping, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna drop because I think they lost the Konami license, and they were probably like, nah, I'm speculating, but I thought probably maybe they lost Konami license and they're just not gonna drop the price because this is the last of what they got of this, you know. But so far, they're still selling this cab and it's still on sale. So I highly recommend it, bro. Like, this is one of the best beat 'em ups. In my opinion, this is better than Turtles. I love X-Men. I think it's the best beat 'em up of all time, in my opinion. But
there's a game. There's a game.
fan.
There's a game on that cabinet that I played in my local arcade a lot, and it was Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah.
I actually really, really like that game.
Yeah, a lot of people dislike it, but I love that game, bro. I love that game too because there's X-Men characters in that game. You fight the Juggernaut in there, you fight a big Sentinel.
I just love the way that game looks. So I'm like, dang, man, another Konami 4-player beat 'em up, man. Do I have room in my room for this thing? So
See,
I'm
that's the
thinking,
thing.
you know, I'm gonna have to go the whole Cornercade route and put a 2-player deck on it from 99 Lives that he's getting done. That looks really sweet. I can't wait for him to get it. I want to see what it looks.
Yeah, but then
But
what? He can only play, or can he play every character or not? Then yeah, I think because you get to choose.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's a 4-player deck. So yeah, you get to choose. So I
I
guess it's
think
not
what
too
it
bad.
is player one. They're gonna have it because they did it with the
Oh
centipede.
no, what it is with certain games like the
Oh, certain
Captain.
games.
Yeah, the Avengers Galactic Storm on there. He'll only be able to play like Iron Man and Cap or something like that. Like certain characters, he won't be able to play. I'm pretty sure.
What's going
Correct
on,
me if
Gothic?
I'm wrong in the chat. What up, Gotham? Was that Gotham City
Yeah,
Arcades?
Gotham City Arcade. Yeah,
Yeah, hey, bro. I wanted to tell you I checked out a couple of your videos, bro. I like your setup, bro. For real.
yeah. He's got a beautiful arcade room, man.
Yeah, I gotta holler at him. Yeah, but to me, there's a top 10 cab. A lot of people might put Turtles in its place.
Yeah.
We.
So that marquee, you swapped it out, didn't you?
Yeah, it definitely needs swapped out.
Yeah, it's super faded, but man, so I'm
Well, let me ask you this: do you think Turtles is a better beat 'em up than X-Men?
I mean, that's the one I had the most nostalgia for because that's the first game I would see every time I walked into the skating rink when I was a kid. It was right there, back to back with Simpsons. Um, so I always played those two. I've never actually seen an X-Men cab, and I've never seen the six-player version either.
Are you
So
kidding me,
I kid you not, I've never seen one in the wild.
bro? Are you
So when
kidding?
I
Like
so when I go to
that was a
Chicago, I'm excited to see that because I want to see how awesome this thing looks.
bro. That was like the biggest deal to me. The six-player cab was so gigantic, bro, and it had the mirrors in it. So like one TV was regular, one was like mirrored. It was crazy, bro. Like just the mechanics of that machine. I've seen them like people restoring them and just they open up that big ass control panel and there's just so many wires in there. I'm like,
Oh wow.
yeah, this to me is just I don't know, bro. And I never thought this cab would happen, bro. I never thought they would get this X-Men cab.
See you later, Retro Lizard man. So glad you came by and support the
A-
channel, man.
And
Thank you.
and it was nice that they kept it Marvel specific, you know.
So I mean, back to that X-Men 97 cab, the Marvel versus Capcom 2 reskin. I think they really missed an opportunity, man. And it kind of, like you said earlier, like speculation that they lost a Konami license because they haven't dropped a Konami cab in forever. Um, to me, X-Men 97, this would have been more appropriate to be
Yeah,
like a reskin of this cabinet instead.
yeah.
And oh man, it's so unfortunate. But then again, at least this is still available out there if anybody really wanted to pick it up. Um, I'm hoping I'm hoping that maybe I eventually I would get this because, like I said, I love that Captain America game. I played that in a real arcade, but I never played the X Men beat 'em up. The only time I ever played it is when we were in Cleveland. We went to that bar, 8-bit arcade or whatever it is, the one with the little small
S-
bowling there, alley and stuff. I forget the name
16
of it.
bit.
16-bit. Okay. Um, they had the 4-player version there. Um, so I got to play with PD7 and Mike um, there on that. So that was fun. I actually had fun playing it, and I had fun
That's
watching
good.
PD7 streams of it.
Like you say, you got Captain America and the Avengers on there. That game's got some variety because it's got some like almost shmup type levels where you're shooting at the enemies on different vehicles and stuff. And then you got the Captain America and the Avenger or Galactic Storm, which a lot of people they'll bang on because it really isn't that great of a game, but it is a fighter and it does add some variety to the cabinet. It's mainly a beat 'em up cab. And if you play Galactic Storm, it's weird. A lot of the move sets and even some of the super moves you do are like they're almost predecessors to the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Excuse me. It's like they stole some of the it's almost like they stole some of the ideas from Data East in hindsight. It's weird.
Yeah. So Vader says if they had the Konami license, could they have done a Contra, or is that Nintendo? Honestly, now the way it is, I think they could have done.
Yeah, they could have they
They
could have
could have
did a
done a Contra
Contra. Yeah.
because now Contra is available on all platforms
Yeah,
now.
they could have did a Contra cab. I don't think they would have.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if like the popularity would be there for the
A
arcade
lot of
version of Contra.
even a lot of Contra fans didn't know there was a Contra arcade game.
Yeah, yeah, because the Nintendo, the NES version was the premier version of that game. Like it
It was
killed the
it
arcade
was
version.
yeah, it was somewhat superior.
Yeah, it's way superior. And like Ralphie says, guys, everybody hit that like, man. Thank y'all so much for being in the chat and everything.
He called them ninja washers.
Ninja
Yeah, wow.
watchers, the quiet ones.
All right, so what's next?
All right, man. So T2.
Yeah. You
I
said this
know
had to be on the list, bro. So tell them
this.
why.
There's more than one reason why this had to be on the list. Number one, it's the biggest cab in anybody's arcade that's not labeled an XL. This thing is a tower
Yeah.
compared to all the other regular 3/4 scale arcades.
It's right there in the background next to my Killer Instinct XL, and their peak height is they're right side by side.
Yeah, and mine's behind my arcade. You can still see the top of it. It's still back there against the wall. I'm going to move it to the front once I get my retro shooters upgrade. But this cab, even though technically it's one game, to me was very, very arcade authentic. From the body shape to, even though they are crappy sending light guns or toys, basically, it still had that good feeling to it. The game's hard, like it should be. It was a quarter muncher in the real arcade. It's a quarter. It's a player one, player
Brutal.
two button masher, and in your home arcade.
Yeah, so it's a brutal arcade game. It was they even if you watch the behind the scenes documentary that's built into this Arcade1up unit, they talk about how it was made to just take quarters from kids, basically. You know what I mean? So yeah, there me personally, one reason why I was hesitant to put this on the list was because I was hesitant to buy this cabinet. I didn't buy this cab new. This is actually one of the few cabs I bought used on the resale market, and I think I bought it for $400 for somebody that lived about a half hour away from me. But that to me was a good buy price point for this cab, like $399, $400. And you made some very good points when I was arguing against putting this on the list, that it's almost like the perfect cab if you want a shooting cab in your house, and then you want like a cab that reminds people of a shooting cab, like retro wise. I feel like this has more nostalgia than Big Buck Hunter or Time Crisis personally.
Hmm.
The Arnold on the side art, so you're right there. And then, like you said, modding potential. This cab, it really is the best to mod, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was the first cabinet that Buy Stuff says, "Hey, the retro shooter integration kit. This is this is the pinnacle cab to do." It's before Time Crisis, before Big Buck Hunter. Before they started doing those. For people who have this cab, they're like, "All right, I've had this for a while. I no longer play it." But like in Snapshot's case, when I have people over, this is the most played cab. Um, for other people, this is a great cab. For us, it's gotten either too so frustrating to the point where you don't play it anymore, but it's so damn cool to look at. Or two, you hate the fact that it just has that one game, and the replayability has died out. So Retro
Yeah.
Shooter has this game on there, by the way, so you can still technically call it a T2 cab because that game is on there.
Unlike the
Um,
Fast and the Furious upgrade they have, where you can't play Fast and the Furious on Fast and the Furious's upgrade, right?
right, right, because
So,
and a lot of those are
so
console games.
yeah, so that's the pro mod in this. If with them, is you get to keep the the themed game on this cab. Plus, they have the red and blue guns, so that that kind of goes with the vibe of the cab, right? On the retro shooter kit, they got the red and blue guns. Me personally, like my favorite shooters are Area 51 and Lethal Enforcers. Those are like the ones I grew up on. I know Area 51's on rails, Lethal Enforcers to some hasn't aged well, but that's what I look to do. Exactly what you're looking to do is probably do the retro shooter upgrade for mine. I mean, I watched PD7's video, you know what I mean? It just sold me. It was like, yeah, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and then like this cab has one great mod to make it more arcade accurate, and that was that recessed screen mod, and you did that, right?
Yeah, I did. I believe I bought the Recess mod kit from Tulsa Arcades,
Mm,
and yeah, I did that. It wasn't too much of a hassle. It's a little bit of work, but yeah, I did that, and I love that upgrade. I mean, I think it looks really, really, really good. I think it looks 100% better having the screen recessed in it. But
Yeah,
I'm still stuck. You know, a lot of people like the 19-inch screen upgrade. You know,
that's what I'm doing.
right? So you know,
Um,
I kind of want you to try to recess screen with the upgrade for me. Sheesh.
I might give that a shot actually. Because I love the way that looks. I watched Retro Lizard's video on it. I've watched like Frostinator, I believe his name. He did the retro or the recessed screen mod. He was one of the original ones to show me that. Evil Genius did it.
Yeah, I watched other people. That's how I heard about it. You know, I just watched them do it. You know, it was just basically dropping the screen further back in the cabinet
And
itself.
you can either black out the bottom or put nothing there at all, black out the sides, or you can put a mirror in there to make it even more arcade authentic.
Yeah, it's fire. So yeah, if you have to pick a shooting cab from Arcade1up, I would say go with this one. It's a top 10 cab.
Yeah, especially when it got down to 315 at Best Buy. Those are almost impossible to find now. I don't even think it's not even on Best Buy's website anymore. The only place I ever see T2 still available and it's at full price is Wayfair and I believe Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe Amazon. But that's the only three places I can find it. Otherwise, it's pretty much gone, like sold out, non-existent. You missed your chance on it. But if you can find it on a second hand market like Facebook Marketplace, if you can find a good deal on it, this is a great cabinet to have, especially if you have wants to either do the recessed screen to make it more arcade authentic, or if you want to do the retro shooter upgrade integration kit, which is what I'm doing as soon as it ships. Buy stuff's told me the other day that it's getting ready to ship, so I'm super excited about doing that and doing a video on it and everything. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it too because I'm thinking about doing the same upgrade. So once I see all the trouble you go through, I know what I got to go through.
Yeah. All right, man. So honorable mention. This is my honorable mention. We didn't really need to put it in here because we already. Oh,
Well, we ain't
I
get
am
that
missing.
far. We
I
ain't
am
get that
missing.
far, but go ahead. Go ahead. That's your honorable mention. Throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm missing one slide from this, and it was the MK2 Deluxe.
But go
So,
ahead. This could be that too. It's the
so
same
this is it.
PCB,
It's the exact same PCB as the MK2 Deluxe. But
same control scheme.
same control scheme, as same as the all Mortal Kombat cabs. But to me, man, this cab is so authentic down to the point where the only thing that's really not authentic about it is the side art, the little stars on the real cab. It's not a star; it's the Williams logo. But that's it. Everything else, man, the control panel, the paint scheme, the yellow and blue, the Joust marquee uh, is it's not really reverse printed, but when I was putting it together, I noticed that it had a bunch of like hard ridges on it where it was like elevated spots. So like where it wanted no color to bleed through, it was thicker white. I wanted to point that out when I did a video review on this, which I haven't done yet. I'm being lazy, to be honest with you, but that's what I noticed about this marquee as to any other Arcade1up marquee I've ever had is that it had thickness layers on certain parts where they did not want any color to bleed through. And to me, that just made this marquee the best marquee Arcade1up has ever done. Period. The blacks are blacks, the yellows are true yellows. There's no light bleed whatsoever, and it pops. The yellow and brown, which seems kind of weird, for a cabinet color scheme, but it works, man, and it pops, dude. It looks so good in my arcade room, and the PCB itself, it's the same as the other Mortal Kombat. So it has all the same games, just in a different lineup. And the startup screen is Joust instead of a Mortal Kombat. And what else? The online leaderboards. I can play online. I can play Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat online. I can play Joust online. I can play with other people who have just a regular old Mortal Kombat.
The Mortal
Cabs.
Kombat Deluxe.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Deluxe,
It's
Mortal
the
Kombat
same.
30th anniversary, which is what this is modeled after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like Jason says here, Defender's awesome. Owned it for a while, but it was difficult to play on that control panel. Yeah, Defender has to have its own special control scheme. Like half a dozen you can echo on that because you got the Defender Partycade.
Yeah, but I'm not a huge Defender, fan. So I mean, I like it, even though I got the party cave. I guess I should say I'm a huge Defender fan because I bought the party cave. But uh, I'm a bigger MK fan than a Defender fan. So like for me, if I lost controls for Defender, I wouldn't. As long as I could play at MK, I'd be happy. So for me, like if I own this cab, I'd be happy with it the way it is. You know, like I would just play Defender as that would be a bonus on there, so I could play Joust and MK and MK2, MK3. But yes, I do
And
own the party kid.
and it's got Gorf and Sinister on it, right?
Yeah, that Gorf, they really did. They the Sinistar, I can't really speak to that. That wasn't that wasn't the best emulation, but Gorf they
Really?
really killed.
Damn.
Gorf they really killed it on though. Like Gorf, they got the because it doesn't fit the monitor, they got the side bezel art that they made, so it fits the aspect ratio a little better. But then it actually, lights up like the Gorf bezel did, which is cool.
Yeah, Defender Partycade controls and game lineup on a damn Deluxe or XL would be fire. They would print money.
Yeah, I
I
wish
agree
that
with that.
Defender Partycade had online functions though. It doesn't.
Uh,
That's the one downside of it.
I'm totally agreeing with this, man. Like I would buy that cap because I love Sinistar. I love Gore. Like I would love to have those, and the only way you can have that is with that Partycade or with that two head to head Mortal Kombat um, cocktail table, whatever crap.
You guys are gonna hate what I'm gonna do to that Defender Partycade. You guys
Yeah,
are gonna hate.
yeah,
I'm about to butcher it, and you guys are gonna hate me for it.
yeah. But you got
I,
some fire ass ideas for it, though.
I bought it to butcher
That's a hard pill to swallow, but you got some fire things doing with it. Now, MG, this is not technically on the list. It's on my personal list.
Listen, well, really, what was on the list is MK Deluxe.
Thank you, thank you. I forgot to add that to the PowerPoint.
Yes,
Sorry.
what was on the list was MK Deluxe. That's what's on the list. Mortal Kombat. That's what I was trying to speak to because, like, for me, the Mortal Kombat series is crazy, right? Like, there's
Mhm.
no denying that it should be on the list.
Yeah, yeah,
But
hands down.
yeah, this
And,
is this is his honorable mention. This is not on the list.
and there's another honorable mention that I don't have a slide for either, and that's going to be that HS5 um, Dynamo Street Fighter cab.
Yeah,
That's another one I like to have, especially if it dropped back down to $299 again, like it
yeah,
was originally.
it should have been on
Um,
this list.
it should have been on this list because that cab, like the NBA Jam Deluxe, is almost perfect, and there's no reason to ever have to redo another one because it has that.
I think Shinku should be on the list, but
I own Shinku, and part of me does miss it because of that game list and that fire ass side artwork that was done. Even though it's not arcade authentic, whatever, it was a custom looking cab, and that artwork was just badass, as well as the beautiful marquee and the control panel.
but we had to make some sacrifices. This is our personal list.
Yeah, yeah, and see, I do own this Joust cab, so I'm going to be a little
And like I
biased
said,
when it comes
it,
to.
yeah, I put X-Men on here where somebody would have put TMNT. So this is our personal list. We definitely we made some decisions you guys would not make. And it's definitely going to be a unpopular opinion, but that's cool. That's what we're here to do.
So according to who was it? Zero Redux and Dr. Z, Kong and Team Encoder, they did a stream together and releasing their Terminator 2 hack. So after this stream, I'm going to check that out, man. So we're going to do a soft hack where they added more gun games and stuff to the T2. That might be something to check out.
To the current PCB via what, USB?
Yeah. So
Let's
yeah,
do it, man.
you want to play different games, man. That's the way to do it. Especially Revolution X.
I mean, what games are we talking?
I know there's
We'll have to
Revolution
see.
X for sure, but we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Mike Hawk Hertz. Joust cabinet, does it have the TN monitor? Yes, but the day I bought it, I also went to eBay and got that Dell 17-inch monitor that 19K Fox talks about. That's like the better replacement for it. I installed it as I built the cab, so it was one and done. It's
this wasn't supposed to be in the list again. It's an honorable mention.
Yeah, it's an honorable mention. So yeah, the TN monitor would have knocked this damn cabinet off the damn list, but because I did do that Dell monitor upgrade, the blacks are true. There is no bad angles. I'll show you in a video when I do it. The Dell monitor upgrades is a godsend that 19K Fox did a video on and everything. So yeah.
I love the side art though on this cab, man. It was one of, like you said, once I seen you build it, I was like, man, that thing is beautiful, bro.
Yeah. And to me, it speaks nostalgia. Number one, number two. When we were in Cleveland, that 16-bit bar,
yeah,
they had this cab next to Robotron, and like I said, this is the first time I ever seen that cabinet out in the wild, the real one. I was like, damn, that cabinet's banging, man. That yellow and brown.
Look at that ostrich. Look at that ostrich posing.
Yeah, and the ostrich with the knight on his back, dude. It's so
the
cool,
leg, like that pose though. Check out the ostrich leg pose.
It's dope, man. I actually love the game too. So to me, it was just fun, man. It was an easy swap out. Now, my wife, she has the Dig Dug cab, and it's got that terrible monitor too, which I haven't replaced that one yet. She said she don't care, she don't mind it, but that's her pride and joy. She loves that cab. But seeing that you are tempted to pick up the Dig Dug, put the 19-inch monitor swap with buy stuff, that might not be a bad idea. I might be able to talk her into that and say, hey, look, it's a bigger screen. She might be down for that. So I'll check that out. But last not least, man, this is the last cab on this list.
Yeah,
this is by far my number one cab that I own. And I think it's probably your tied for first.
It's tied for number one with Fast and the Furious for me. For it's just for the cabs I would never part with in this house.
Yeah. Now the difference between me and you is I got the actual 3/4 scale. You got the Pro Edition.
Yeah, Killer Instinct, bro. I think this is hands down one of their best cabinets they've ever made. The Pro Edition, the Pro model, in my opinion, the Pro Series is one of the best cabinets that Arcade1up's ever produced. It's got dope speakers in it. All the buttons are fire. The joysticks suck. We know that, but you can replace those for $50 and you're good to go. You got the light up coin door, the functional light up coin buttons, the stellar emulation. You really can't beat the emulation on this fighting cabinet is better than any other cabinet they have.
Oh, hands down.
It's killing what Capcom was doing. It's killing what Midway was doing. Just on the emulation side.
Yeah, hands down.
The quarters on the glass update is what just set this cabinet apart from all the other fighting cabs they have.
They made this cabinet or this, even the 3/4 scale, even the Pro, both of them. They made this cabinet it went from it's a good cab to this is one of the best cabs because of that online update, because of what Code Mystic was able to do. Spectate mode has now been officially. We need this on all cabinets. We need this on every single cabinet.
Yeah,
And
that's a community wide like observation. We want that on all fighting games. We want to be able to watch our competitors, you know.
yeah, and be able to wait in line like a tournament system and everything. Like it's so cool because like me and PD7s, which speaking of PD7, what's up, man? Just made it to the chat.
What up, though, PD7?
Um, Me and him on his live stream, we played Battletoads, which is included on this cabinet. We played the online or arcade version of Battletoads online, and
Another game I will argue is better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In my opinion.
I was really shocked about all the adult humor that was in that game.
Yeah.
That was like,
And
wow,
brutality, bro. Blood everywhere in that game. Like
yeah,
I love the Battletoads arcade game, bro. So it's a huge bonus at being on this cab.
yeah. And see, I never really played it before, even though I own this cabinet. I've owned it for over a year now. I never actually played the Battletoads arcade much, other than the first level because I was playing it by myself. PD7 gave me that reason to actually play the whole thing through because I had somebody to play with. But yeah, I'm so glad me and you both agree that even though we have different versions, it's
Mhm.
both still in our number one slot, or at
Yeah,
least tied in number one slot.
it doesn't matter which version you bought of this cabinet. It's a great cab. And if you didn't get one, you probably missed out, or you're just not a fan of the series. Because
Yeah,
not only did they give us KI1, they gave us KI2, bro. To get both them games running as smooth as they run on this cab is crazy to me.
considering how underpowered that PCB is and how hard both of those games are to emulate on anything other than a PC, because PC is required to be able to read those H hard drive files that the actual original KI and KI2 had. Um, you cannot find a single board computer like a Raspberry Pi that can run KI or KI2 efficiently, at full speed. It's
I
hard. It's
tried it. I couldn't
Yeah,
get it to run.
can't
I
get it to
tried it.
do it.
That's
Even
that
if
was one
even
of the
if you
main
overclock it.
reasons. That's one of the main reasons I bought this was because I tried it myself and I could not. I tried it on a laptop, on a PC, and I tried it on a Raspberry Pi, and I could never get this game to run.
Yeah. So what they were able to do, especially that underpowered PCB, was able to get this thing to run full speed, have online play, and the rollback code to keep the game running smoothly as it does online, as it does if that person was right next to you playing. Um, the technical feats that they had with this cabinet is incredible, and
Yeah.
hands down, I mean, and
And
the cosmetic upgrades you can make to this cabinet.
and
I
then
did,
we were fortunate enough that Nintendo lost the license too, that we could get this cab because
yeah, the
if you
exclusive
grew
license.
up
Yeah,
in the arcades, this was a Nintendo property back in the day. So Nintendo let this license lapse, and Rare said, you know what, we'll keep it going. And this is one of them cabs that, like, we'll never see a Donkey Kong cab unless it's made by Nintendo. So this is one of them cabs, like, just because of licensing issues, we got lucky that we were able to get this. Like, this is definitely a bucket list cab, man.
and not to
And
knock at games with their 4K Ultimate with that side art and everything, the Killer Instinct theme. You're just never going to beat an original recreation like Arcade1up was able to achieve here with the 3/4 scale in the Pro Series.
yeah, yeah, bro. And I really feel like if you can still get one of these, I would say go get one of these before you worry about waiting to see what ATGAMES does later. And we've been pushing ATGAMES on the, we've been pushing ATGAMES products nonstop on this live stream. So, and not pushing them, just for the sake of pushing them. We're excited about their virtual pinball stuff, but
Mhm.
you know, if you could still get one of these 3/4 scale Arcade1up Killer Instinct cabs, and you know the Pro Series are still available, I'm telling you, go get one, bro. You won't regret it. Because the money you spend to upgrade the sticks on that Pro model, you're not gonna regret it, bro.
Yeah. So
It's got the same experience you're getting on your 3/4 scale. So just keep that in mind on a bigger screen with better sound and better buttons, and all you got to do is upgrade the joysticks.
light up coin door, functional coin door,
Huh?
no riser design, true XL like full size cab. This is
But
this,
a higher price point, you know.
yeah, but a higher price point. Yeah.
But what does
Now,
KI mean to you? You know what I mean? Like we said, what is a coin op, you know, an actual version, arcade version of this go for? Thousands of dollars. So this, you get KI1, you get KI2, you get online, plus you get Battletoads. It's not a bad price if you really put that all into perspective, bro.
yeah,
And the marquee's not that great. I got to throw that out there too. I did upgrade the marquee through Sabo.
me too. And I did his custom one that he has available with the purple clouds and lightning strikes. I'll have to show you what it looks like up close if anybody's interested. I was going to do a video on it anyway, but I like the way, even though it's not arcade authentic, it's a custom one. Nobody else in the community I've ever seen has that one that he offers. So I was like, I'll pick that one up because it's different.
Yeah. No, I like that one that you got. Actually, I think I seen it was offered, but I just wanted to go arcade authentic. But now that I seen the one you got, I'm like, I probably should have went that route too. That one looks fire.
Hell yeah. So, and like I said, the modding capabilities you have with this, like the cosmetic mods, you can add the Nintendo logo to the side panel. Jay Sabo's marquee upgrade. The bezel, you can do moves list around the bezel on the monitor. You can add the topper
And
with the moves
honestly,
list.
you know, with the joystick issues that the Pro Series has, it was almost one of the best things that ever happened to that cab for me because it forced my hand to upgrade to IO Euros. And once I did, I was like, dude, this thing is like a real arcade now. It doesn't
Hmm.
even play like a toy, it plays like a real arcade.
That's beautiful, man. So yeah, guys, I know a lot of people's top tens would be a lot different, maybe some maybe similar. But I'm so glad that me and my co-host, like, we agree on a bunch of these on this top 10. That the way it goes down, this is hands down my favorite cab that I own. I'll never get rid of it unless I can find a pro series. If I can find a pro series cheap enough, I'll get it. I would upgrade. But other than that, man, I'm super happy with my 3/4 scale, and I'm gonna keep it. And I'm never
Yeah,
gonna
the
get
three
rid of it.
quarter scale is a great cab. It's got the same, you're playing the same thing I'm playing, you know, just a smaller version, you know, but yeah, that's definitely, you know, and drop your top 10 in the comments, you know, let us know what your top 10 are.
Yeah,
I like to hear what cabs, you know, we already heard a few different ones in the chat. So I want to hear what
yeah,
everybody else's top 10 Arcade1up cabs are.
yeah. That would be beautiful. Guys, don't forget, man. Me and Huff Dozen are both part of the Arcades Anonymous Discord. If you're not at home to any kind of Discord, or if you're looking for somebody to chat to, have help out on a mod, or find people to play games with, man, Arcades Anonymous is the place to be, man. So hit up hit up our Discord. There's a code in the bottom of the screen right there. I'm pretty sure Jason will put it in the chat as well. But join up, man. Talk to any of us on there at any time. We'll play games with you. We'll talk shop. We'll talk mods. But it's a great community to be a part of, man. And I'm glad everybody that's in there to be a part of it.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate everybody joining the chat, everybody checking out the show. We went overboard. We had like 2 hours now.
Yeah,
BD7. Appreciate you stopping by. Everybody stopping by in the chat. Jason, you know, moderator, looking out for us.
yeah. And I know, like, obviously, B Kong dropped some news today about the T2 being done, the
Hmm.
soft mod. So those who have stayed here and hung out with us the entire time, man, you're the best. God bless you, man. Thank you so much
Go
for hanging
check
out.
that out though. Go check
Oh
out Be
yeah,
Calm.
yeah. We're gonna check it out after we go off the air. But uh, 10th episode, I think it went really well. Thank y'all all so much for joining us. Hit that like button and subscribe to both of our channels, man.
Yeah. We out here, world.
And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, y'all.
Yo.
retro.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Yo.